Get set for summer with BBC Sport.
Tonight, an elderly couple die and 34 people are injured as fire rips through a busy town centre store. Police describe the blaze at Little Woods in Chesterfield as a tragic accident. The details on Look North at 6:30 tonight.
The hunt for a fabulous jewel takes 17th century adventurers to Paris and India for the Diamond Queen on BBC2 shortly. Here on BBC1, it's time for the 6 o'clock news with Peter Sissons and Moira Stewart.
Good evening. The government suffers its biggest setback at the polls for almost 20 years. The Liberal Democrats crown Tory misery in the Shires with a stunning victory at Newbury. The Prime Minister says his government's been given a bloody nose. 2 die and 34 are injured as fire sweeps through a Chesterfield store. And Azil Nadir says he had to flee Britain to escape official skullduggery. A bloody nose for which there was no excuse, but from which the government would learn. That was John Major's reaction to the blackest night for the Conservatives for nearly 20 years. The reaction of a Prime Minister now under intense pressure to act to stop the Tory rot. As stronghold after stronghold collapsed at Newbury and throughout traditionally true blue Shires, the opposition parties were jubilant. The Labour leader John Smith said the government had totally lost the confidence of the men and women of Britain. The leader of the Liberal Democrats, Paddy Ashdown, said the government was discredited and divided. The by-election first. At Newbury, the Liberal Democrat candidate, David Rendell, won the seat with more than 37,000 votes. The Conservatives polled just over 15,500, while Labour, with fewer than 1,200 votes, lost their deposit. It was one of the most sensational results on record, turning a Conservative majority of 12,000 into a Liberal Democrat majority of 22,000.
Even in the long history of by-election upsets, Newbury was a remarkable result. There was a bigger swing against the Tories than the Liberals achieved in their historic victory at Orpington 30 years ago. Government hopes that improving economic statistics might help were contemptuously brushed aside. The Prime Minister made no attempt to hide his disappointment.
I think it is clear what has happened. Many people have been hurt by the recession. It's been around a long time. We're clearly coming out of recession, but the effects of that are not felt. People feel bruised. They feel hurt. I think they were determined to give the government a bloody nose, and that in practice is what they did last night.
Newbury was a by-election the Liberal Democrats had to win. To win so spectacularly was an unexpected bonus.
Tremendous, well done, terrific, congratulations.
In the less dramatic atmosphere of the county council elections, the sheer scale of the Tory losses also took the Conservatives by surprise. Last year, Basildon in Essex signalled a Tory majority at Westminster. This time, Essex man turned angry. The Tories lost the council and their leader.
It's a very serious night for me personally. It's a serious night for the county. It's a serious night for the Conservative Party.
The losing Tory candidates across the country and at Newbury officially escaped the blame.
I don't think in any way the Conservative candidate can be blamed for that. I think this was a reaction to the recession and a general expression about events over the last year or so. Nothing to do with the candidate. He did as well as he possibly could have done.
Very humiliating though, Prime Minister, wasn't it?
I don't think you can be humiliated by democracy. Democracy is there to tell governments when people are concerned that things haven't gone right. That's not humiliation, that's democracy.
Mr Major promised that the government would listen and learn from the results. Some leading Conservative MPs now want a cabinet reshuffle later in the summer, and the Chancellor, Norman Lamont, is increasingly spoken of as a possible victim. His chances of avoiding being moved to another post have certainly lessened.
I would be very surprised if we don't have a reshuffle over the next few months. It's up to the Prime Minister to determine who will go and, who will take their place. But that is part of the equation.
Speculation has also grown that the results could encourage cooperation between Labour and the Liberal Democrats. But there's no question of a formal pre-election pact. Labour insist their successes last night show they can win on their own.
If in the past we had said we're not going to put up candidates in Berkshire or Hertfordshire or Essex because we don't think that's good territory, we wouldn't now have 24 seats in Berkshire and be the largest single party in Hertfordshire and in Essex. So our tactic of putting up candidates all over the country to give the opportunity for people to support Labour has worked.
We are different, we are independent, we are distinct, and we are powerful as a result of last night. People want to have a choice. And you may leave it to the intelligence of the people of Britain to make sure that they use their vote according to how they want to apply that choice.
In the short term, it's the blow to the government which will have the most significant effect. There is now a strong chance of a cabinet